Hey guys, have you ever been out wheeling and went to use your winch because you're stuck, only to have the drum spin and not pull your rope in? Then you go home and you find out you've either broke the bolt that screws this to the side of your drum, or you've just pulled the winch rope out of the little clevis that they send you. Well, today I'm going to show you how to fix that problem once and for all, get rid of any issues associated with this crimped on piece, and be able to service it a lot easier. And to top it all off, we're going to do it with simple tools. A little bit of black tape and an old big pen. We're going to show you how to put a loop in this end and how to put it on your drum so that you can get rid of this clevis, which is pretty much standard in the industry. It comes with this, but if you feel it, the edges are sharp. It's usually mounted on the side, so as you're wrapping and winching, it's going to eventually fray your rope. So basically, I said we're going to use simple tools, but we're going to use a pair of scissors. I'm going to take this piece, cut it, that's where it goes. We're going to pull out about 2 feet. Take a pen like this, pull the center out of it, and a little black tape. So to start, take about 2 feet, like that, and make a loop. Now we're going to do what's called a Brummel lock, and the advantage of that is you really don't need very long tail buried for it to remain strong, because when you get the lock done, it can't come undone. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this end of the rope that I cut the metal clevis off, about 1 inch up. I'm going to start wrapping the rope tightly with the black tape. I get to the end, I'm going to put the hollow pen there. Find where your loop's going to be, which in my case is going to be right here. Push this together, which will loosen it, and you're going to shove the pen straight through. You want to go down the middle of the strands, but not catch any fibers along the way. Just pull it through, and you have your loop, just like this. Now I pull it a bit further because in the next step, you take the tail, loosen the weave again just outside the main line, and then use the pen to make a big hole that you will push the loop through in the next step. So you've got your big hole, you take your pen, you go down through the hole, and you pull it clear through, just like this, and it puts a twist in. Now the reason you put that twist in is because of the next step. I like to tape this just to make it small, because I can put the tape on, tighten it really tight on the loop like this, and then you take this piece and you shove it through your hole like this. So this is your loop. And then you take your tail and you pull it down over your other piece. Just like that, and when you do, your twist comes out of it. Now you won't need the tape on anymore. You can take this, you pull your loop back, you tighten it up, and there you have a Brummel lock. And as you can see, it doesn't come undone. So the last step to this is, once again, right at the base of your knot, you open this up, but this time, instead of going straight through with your pen, it's a hollow rope, so you're going to go right down the middle. And again, same thing, be careful not to catch fibers on each strand, but put it between the strands and just start working your way down. Now when you go down through, make sure you go longer than what your tail is, so you can pull it back up and completely bury the tail when this next step is done. So when I get it to there, I'm just going to split this again, pull the pen out, and unwrap the whole thing. just like that. Now the weak spot would be where this is inside, because it's a sharp edge. So the next step is I'm just going to take a fiber out, pull it out, and I'm going to skip down a set of fibers. Skip down, like rotate it and skip down one, and pull another one out. I'm just going to go around it like this the whole way till I've got all but about 4 fibers out. And I'm going to just start cutting some of these fibers off at varying lengths. So I want that to be a gradual reduction in thickness. So it starts thick here, and as you can see, we go down to almost nothing, because that way you don't have a pressure point right at an abrupt edge. So we get that all done. The last step is just to grab the rope and start pulling it down and tightening it, and that will feed the old rope back into the inside, and you'll get just a nice gradual edge. And now we're ready to install. We're going to mount the line on the drum. If you had cable on before and this is the first time, just take a little bit of sandpaper, about 220 grit. If you could hear over the winch, I'm sure I'd be saying that you're just trying to sand out the burrs left over from the cable. Okay, so to mount this, you're going to take the loop that we made, you're going to run it through the fair lead, yourself a little bit of slack, over top of the drum, back out through the fair lead. That will allow you to pass the hook through. Just like that. And you're going to pull it all through. Push it back in through the fair lead. And get it right over next to the edge, nice and tight. Like that. And then I'm going to take the other end, and I'm going to go hook it on around this pole. Now you want it a little bit slack, you don't want it tight to start, just so you can get this rope to start. So pull it nice and tight. Let it get one wrap started, and push it over. Get it started nice, tight, and neat, and then just hold it to start. Something else I'm sure I would have mentioned if I could be heard over the winch was the fact that when I came in, I left the Jeep in neutral and put the park brake on mildly just to give it some drag. Also, you should run the engine just to take some of the strain off the battery. A couple safety reminders you should keep in mind. Keep your hand back from the fair lead when you're winching in. It could grab your hand and suck it in, and I have a friend that lost fingers doing that. Also, less layers on your drum means your winch will have more power. So also try and be further away and have more winch line out when you're winching. Because the last few feet are going to be coming off anyway, you don't need to pre-tension it as hard. You can do it by hand. If you got something from this video, like and subscribe and ring the bell. We're going to be having lots more tips coming up. You won't want to miss them. And there you have it. You're ready to go.